How am I swimming in a corner? Woo.
My at the NBA game tonight, courtside, drippy.
Liangelo.
Jello. He go by Jello.
Wait. Jello. Oh, you call him Jello. Shut the up.
Don't he do for real?
His name is Liangelo Ball, though. You made me second guess that.
Yeah.
All right. No, he go by Jello. Man, like you know him personally. No, don't call him Jello. He get offended. Now I know his mama. His mama named Liangelo. I'm gonna call him Liangelo.
Yep. You know what this is? It's not a movement. It's the only thing moving, huh? Dig that? Okay, oh yes, the war is coming. The gap keep growing with the wealthy and the slumming. So I use my mental riches for digits to keep them running till my chips come around. Yup, like a Funyun, bite down, get a taste of that Midwest flavor. While I'm at it, let Mr. Rogers just shout out to my neighbors. I ain't mention the journal when I say wake up, get paper. Not talking about Kobe when they mention a great Laker.
You don't have my permission to release any of that.
Nah. I wouldn't have in the first place.
I do not give my consent, guys.
Oh man, that's hysterical. You do not have my permission.
How Jodeci broke up.
Casey, I told you not to put that video out. Yeah, I was fiending.
So I was on the vineyard today, guys, and we have some grapes that was up. You know, they were due, and I'm having some of Burner's 2022 right here. This is bottled in 2022, guys.
Vintage.
No, you holding that real prissy. I don't like that. I'm gonna need you to hold that glass like a man.
Drinking wine is a delicacy.
A delicacy. So what you saying is for
Yeah. We all got a little bitch in us.
Yeah, we
came from them.
We all got a little
When Tupac said it, y'all didn't get it.
All right, listen, dog. You tell MAGA country that we all got a little in us, bro. That'd be your last day on earth.
They the worst. They the biggest of them. Like something emotional. Come on.
Our whole culture as a whole is just based on being a victim. Somebody got victimhood somewhere. I don't care if you're rich, poor, white, black, Republican, Democrat, you a victim.
You a victim.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Let's jump into this.
We bike. We big bike. I'm your illustrious host, Jerome Williams. I got my good brother Lamar Wilburn and my brother Dante Owens in the building. How y'all feeling this week? Did I add an S to your names? I said Owens, didn't I?
Yeah, that's right, though.
Owens is right. Oh, okay. I was saying, okay. Look, don't even know my co-host name.
Crack is whack. Whack.
Got Dante Owen in the building. Took the S off the name.
Some of that smack.
You on that smack.
No, I'm on that need some sleep. That's what I'm on. But it's all good, though. You know, when you work hard, you play hard. So this is playing right now, but I'm having a good time right now. But anyway, we bike with another episode of Unlabeled the Podcast. If this is your first time listening, what we do is we cover sports, entertainment, and pop culture on this show. So we hope that you like our offerings and what we have to bring to you this evening. First, what are we going to start with? How was you guys' week, man? How was you guys' week? It ain't even been a week since last time recorded. It's been a couple of days, but you know, it's Friday.
Been a few days. We in a polar vortex right now, man. It's cold out here.
A polar vortex.
Yeah, you know, we shaking like butt naked Eskimos, skinny dipping.
Burner got a hot tub though. Hey, bro, you might as well go ahead and let it out, bro, because it jumped right to you when you started laughing. You always trying to hold them damn laughs in, dog. Make me look like I'm crazy. You got to hear my goofy laugh on the camera.
Just colder than a witch's titty and a brass bra face down in the snow.
Hey, that's cold. That's cold.
That's cold.
Oh,
yeah, he's on one, ladies and gentlemen. Like and subscribe. Send those stars.
Send those stars.
Where's the Cash App? Where's the Cash App?
Yeah, it's a link in the description to the Cash App, and we on Patreon now. So if you listen wherever you listen to this app, please go subscribe on Patreon. I don't know when you're going to be able to find us on there because when you type our name in the search engine, it don't pop up. But I just activated it today. I'm posting on there consistently. If you look in the link of this YouTube video, you'll find a Patreon link as well. So, or on this podcast. Wherever you listen to this podcast at, just look in the description, you'll see a link to the Patreon. I'm getting better with posting links and stuff, y'all. And I'm going to get back to posting the the playlist. Like I told you before, they only available on Apple Music right now. So if you have any other platform, you're left out. I'm not doing all that work. I'm already giving y'all enough free stuff. So go ahead and try to either find a friend with Apple Music and duplicate the playlist on your own, or just enjoy it, or don't click it at all. I don't really care. I'm just trying to help y'all out with some slaps. All right. So do as you may. But Burner, how's your week, man?
Man, my week is good. It was quick. It was good though. It was quick. Got a lot done this week. A lot of momentum for next week. So one day at a time, man. One day at a time.
Bro, y'all be humble, dog. Y'all ain't gonna talk about y'all. I posted in the community section of on YouTube. Y'all gonna talk about y'all little expose in the Herald?
Nah.
Not yet.
At a later date. But the key is, man, staying humble. Because I tell you what, one cow, it feeds, and one, the old saying. But
No, what's
we don't know.
We don't know the old saying, bro. What's the old saying? I was waiting for him to spit it out on my heart. He going somewhere with this one. I'm ready. I'm listening.
You know what they say in Texas.
yeah, they be saying something about some cows. Or something. I don't know.
That right there. That's cows, feed. Land, farming. Everything big, Texas, etc.
Right, agriculture, etc. But yeah, okay, y'all ain't gotta talk about it. They being humble today, y'all. So it's all good. Just go look in the community section on YouTube and y'all see what's up. But yeah, congratulations to y'all on y'all new business venture, brothers. I'm looking forward to being a part of that. Also, let me see what I got on this list right here. What I got on this list?
I know y'all saw what happened to Drake. We gotta dive into it.
You want to go with that first?
Let's go with that first. Might as well.
All right, we'll dive right into the Drake. So Drake has opened up a federal lawsuit. He is suing content creators. He is suing the record labels. He is suing everybody. I said last week on the show, or earlier this week, that Drake's career is over, and Burner said nah. He said nah, but I think it's over. Nope. So y'all know about the federal lawsuit. Y'all can go check. Y'all can go do your Googles, right? But the reason I think his career is over, bro, is because Americans do not like bitch assness, bro. And I'll bleep that out. But we do not like bitch assness, white, black, or in between. Don't nobody want to see a grown man act like a bitch. And I've been seeing that sentiment pretty much echoed across the social media platforms. I've seen it on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Like, a lot of people are not happy with this move. I'm seeing people saying, like, how do we let this dude stand on top this long? And this dude is a BAN. How do we let him stay on top this long? All that. A lot of people are not happy about these lawsuits that he's doing, especially the content creators. The content creators are upset. So I know you might feel averse to that, but I want to know why you don't think it's over and what you think about this lawsuit.
I don't think it's over because he playing chess at such a high level. And the reason I say that is if you actually go look at the lawsuit and some of the stuff his lawyer is saying, there's real things that have happened in his life that they're trying to contribute to this. Mass gunmen coming to his house, a whole bunch of different stuff. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. But I think what he's showing is that you got the right one, right? Y'all want to play these games? I ain't going to come on no, like, what other way could you approach it? I ain't coming on no ghetto macho approach like I handle this in the street. No, y'all playing with my name. So this is what happens in the real world when you play with people's name. And I think he's showing that. Two, he make too good in music for him to be irrelevant. His music is just that good. And I think a lot of times people get caught up in the fact of them saying that is kind of like a way to act like Kendrick didn't smoke him in that beef. But two things can be true. Nobody makes better music than Drake, but he still got washed up by Kendrick. Those both things are true in my opinion. And I think the majority of the world feels like that. He'll make a slap, we'll listen to it, we'll dance. The court of public opinion, I think that's a very unique perspective, being a BAN for probably 40 and up. Other people don't look at it like that. I think the majority of his fan base, people of less pigment and the younger demographic, bro, they went to his house. They shot at his house. I don't think people gonna look at it the same. Where versus us, we be like, no, you pretend to be tough. Your dad from Memphis, right? You going to the police? No, people really call the police in the real world because people really don't. Majority of the time, especially in this type of genre, his fan base, people not showing up and shooting you. People don't really want smoke, so they not holding to that whole standard. So I think he actually gonna be praised. Like, yeah, he stood up to the system, almost like what you saying with Trump. He's standing up against the system. He could be blatantly lying, right? But people ain't fact checking. He said, man, the system be lying. We all lie. We all cheat. They just trying to call me out for it. That's some truth in that. It gotta be, because we all know they all lie and they all cheat. And I think that's what Drake is doing it, because I think that's what he's doing, because he's used this same stuff with Meek. You couldn't go nowhere and not see back to back and all that stuff. It was good, but they put money behind that. Ain't nothing for free. It was everywhere. And so now he getting a taste of that medicine, and he just showing, yeah, right game, wrong person.
Who you think is bigger, Drake or LeBron?
LeBron.
Right. And Drake just dissed LeBron on the record, unwarranted, uncalled for, saying he was going to ruin his public image, all that. The LeBron fans heard that, and they was not happy about that. That's just one point to add to my point. But to your other points about his music career not being over and other people don't feel that way, I think it's the exact opposite, bro. I honestly think that this dude, I honestly think he's doing irreparable damage to his career. He always gonna be up. You write about Drake making good music. That's subjective, because I think it's artists that make better music than him. Drake just puts out good music at a higher clip than most of the field. He got a machine behind him. You know what I mean? He's not a single artist just with a pen and a pad and locked in the booth. He's a machine. He got writers, producers, all type of stuff, which I respect. I'm not taking nothing away from that. If you're an artist, I think that's pretty smart to do. Mooney Long, take notes. To have a team and be putting out stuff at a high clip like that. But one thing I will say is, bro, like, yeah, it's the majority of the fan base that I'm seeing on the internet. The fans, the people in our community, the people that buy hip hop, they not happy about this, man. And we got to remember, yeah, you said that they said they use certain different languages. Like, one of the biggest things is, like, he's mad that he's being called a PDF file, right? That's a little G code for y'all on YouTube, but he's mad that he's being called a PDF file. So he's that's a huge thing. But he said a lot. So if you want to do a countersuit, he said a lot about Kendrick and his family, a lot. Accused that man of a whole lot. Said his cousin was sleeping with his wife, his all this different things. So a lot of that stuff that he said can be thrown against him. It was a slanderous battle, and Kendrick said, "Hey, bro, I don't want to take it there," and they ended up taking it there anyway. So that's how I feel about it. Like I said, you one of them things, you're gonna hit somebody and then call the police. Like, that's crazy to me. Like the man said, "Hey, we don't got to do this," and then you do it anyway. So honestly, I think that's what's gonna have a lot of hip hop fans torn. And I'm seeing it left and right, bro. I'm not even seeing too many Drake fans defend this. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
And I think what you said is absolutely right. But the difference is, he's not even suing Kendrick, though.
Right.
He's not suing Kendrick.
Right. I get it.
He's suing the company. He's suing the company. And I think it's only a power play.
Right, which UMG, which Kendrick is a part of. And all they're going to say is, hey, man, you, like I said, if any smart lawyer just say the same thing, bro. Hey, look, you said this in this battle, and you said X, Y, and Z. You claiming these people signing your name, but you also said this. That's what I'm saying. I can see it go both ways, but you're 100% right about that. But the suing the content creators, because they broke all this stuff down with the beef, and they started digging up in your DMs and seeing the different women you were entertaining and all this type of stuff. I think that's insane. And it's kind of creating a culture of that. And I think this is a slippery slope. And another reason I say that is because I don't know if a lot of y'all know, but Ryan Reynolds is also being sued right now for some of the jokes that he said in Deadpool and Wolverine. He's part of a $400 million lawsuit as well. So if this becomes a trend, it's gonna be a complete attack on freedom of speech and what you can and cannot say. You know what I mean? So this whole trend of these people making jokes and making rap songs and movies and stuff and suing is crazy to me right now. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but like I said, it's insane to me right now.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if his career ain't over, I think he excluded himself from that category. Like, Drake had a little bit of crossover where he ain't exactly gangster rap, but that portion of his career is done. Right? He gonna have to get out here and shout out all the queens and just keep making bangers for the ladies, because basically he got this handed to him in that battle. When he had the gun and he was out there running things, it was all good for him. He ate Meek Mills up, right? He dropped this diss track feeling like he had the upper hand. Now he come out and sue this record label. And yeah, he can't just directly try to sue Kendrick Lamar because that's going to look bad on him. So he's like, no, I'm suing the record label because they going against me. But basically, he trying to find any way to silence that man from putting out that music that's popping. It's out now. And he trying to say all the irreparable damage. Man, he done shit on how many people? Like, let's be real. He really done crashed out on some people and really tore them down. And we know that everything a rapper say ain't true. So now you suing, talking about defamation and all of those things. Like, no, you're going to have to stick to making music straight for the ladies. I can't respect it, but I also think from the other side of things, I'm looking from a business perspective. No, it's good business because it's dog eat dog at a certain level, right? And so he trying to figure out any way to say, hey, silence him because I'm making money. But they got to figure out, all right, man, right now he popping. He might be generating more than Drake. They looking like, hey, we going to put out what pays us. And him trying to shut down that man and come at it like, oh, the record label going against me, I just think is a way to hide his hand, because really he couldn't figure out how to really get back to him.
Yeah.
When ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. And guess what? That rabbit got it right now.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah. And one thing I will say is, to tell you the truth, man, this lawsuit, I think he's filing paperwork. I don't think he's that butthurt behind the diss record. I don't think that all the damage that was done. You know what I think he's trying to do? He's trying to stop that Super Bowl performance. He's trying to stop that song from being performed in front of millions and millions of people, and then this becomes a whole nother talking point for the next 2 years about how amazing Kendrick halftime show was and how he destroyed Drake again. Because we seen what happened at the Pop Out concert, and that was one of the largest stream things on Prime for a while. And I'm pretty sure the YouTube is up right now. You can probably go watch it on YouTube, and it's probably got millions of views on that. But it's crazy because he's just proving Kendrick points about him not being like us over and over again with every step of the way, everything that he's doing. So somebody need to talk to this dude. I suggested a long time ago, take your wound, go sit down somewhere, and go make some music. We should have played
the Jay-Z card.
Yeah, we
act like it's too good to respond to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, even after the response and you lost the battle, cool, whatever. He should have put, bro. Listen, we forgave R. Kelly, bro. Not we, because I didn't, but the general public forgave R. Kelly for on a young girl, bro, because he was making slaps. Do y'all understand that? Do y'all understand that, bro? If Drake would have just kept coming out with the slaps, all would have been forgiven, bro. All would have been forgiven. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we forgave R. Kelly, fam, and then we had to go back and send him back to jail 2 decades later. You know what I'm saying? So all Drake had to do was go back and make slaps. I'm a huge Kendrick fan. When I heard what's that song God, dog, it's a song he got out recently, but I can't think of it because that's how off of him I am right now. But it was a couple of months after the diss, bro. I was like, man, this is a slap. And everybody was like, oh, that's trash, man. I'm like, what are y'all hearing? I'm like, y'all just jaded because of this Kendrick stuff, but this song is a bop. Oh, God, it'll come to me back in a second, y'all. I can't think of the name of the song right now. But yeah, I think that's what he's trying to get in front of is the whole Super Bowl performance.
Yeah, people are prisoners of the moment. I think if this don't work and that Super Bowl performance happen, it's going to set them back like that song just dropped again.
Oh, for sure. It's going to 100% feel like that, bro. Because, like, I purposely haven't listened to that song. I have not listened to Not Like Us in probably a month and a half because I'm waiting for it to hear it on the Super Bowl. I don't listen to the radio. I curate my own stuff. So I know people I talk to in Milwaukee like, man, they won't stop playing it on the radio. I'm so tired of this song. I purposely tuned it out because I'm like, when Kendrick performs this at the Super Bowl, it's gonna be insane. And the Drake song I was talking about was No Face. That's the name of that song. That No Face is hard, bro. But like I said, he just too much of this BAN energy, bro. And so he ain't He ain't hit like he used to.
There's no way you can stop that song. Even if he went and just did the instrumental, that whole stadium gonna sing them lyrics, bro. That's how big that song is.
Every last word of it. You better believe it. Bro, he just turn it on and just hold the microphone up to the crowd. He ain't even got to rap the word.
So again, if he want to be petty, which to be honest, when it comes from a music perspective, I want to see him go for the jugular. So I hope even if he trying to stop it, he still make it away so we can enjoy the moment. But in a way you can stop it. He can play the intro and everybody's gonna rap it and sing along. It's gonna be crazy. So we'll see what happens.
Did a Mike Jackson maneuver. What was that? Eminem said something about Michael Jackson and he went and bought his catalog. That's the maneuver to make. Like, I mean, because you might as well just get paid, man. All right, you got me. Let me go ahead and see what I can get a couple dollars out of it. But him trying to sue, I feel like he adding extra attention. Anytime Drake do anything, put a lawsuit, man, that's gonna be news. They're gonna read that, look for that. So he should have made some other play, but I don't think this was the right one.
You know what's so weird with this too, and I don't know if y'all agree, but the diss is super fire by Kendrick. They not like us, obviously. But I never consider Drake to truly be a like it's just cold, and I get it. Like you messing with this girl we hear about, she may be 21 or something younger. But we talking about that's a very specific tag. Nobody ever consider him, as far as I'm concerned, to really be that. That ain't a real thing. So for that to really trigger him like that, that's weird. Like he really heard about the whole thing, but I didn't take that serious. That wouldn't make sense for me if he really was. So the fact that he taking it like that is wild.
Yeah, I mean, and I would say speak for yourself in that instance because, for YouTube I do say PDF file, just to let you know. Just so can
you go back and
I believe you. I got you. But anyway, what I will say is a hit dog a holler, man. Like I said, we've been guilty. When I say we, I'm speaking of society. We've been guilty of turning an eye where there's smoke, there's fire. We did it with R. Kelly. We did it with Diddy. Like we just heard these rumors and then it just and just completely ignored it. And then when the footages come out or the receipts come out, you know what I'm saying? And yes, I did say footages. I said footages on purpose. But when the receipts come out, it's like, man, this dude been a terrible person for a long time. So I think the general public is erring on the side of caution because the behaviors we've seen other celebrities, express in the past before. So I will say I wouldn't put. I've seen him entertaining way too many relationships with younger women to make me comfortable. And I'll just put it like that. Like I don't think there's no reason a 40-year-old man should be contacting a 16-year-old girl. Period.
Oh, I understand what you say, and I'm not saying you wrong. I'm just saying to be Pedialyte and to like younger women, that's a lot.
It's a lot. It is a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot. But listen, when R. Kelly married Aaliyah, not a lot of us had that knowledge back then of how old Aaliyah was. We just listened to 1 in a Million. Age ain't nothing but a number. He was putting it all in his music. Who else got that all in their music?
But I feel like we don't focus
like
on
teenage fever. Now listen, this feel like teenage fever. Like he got it in his raps, man. He got it in his tweets. Some people pulling up some old tweets too.
But here's the thing, right? And I just want to say this, and just for context and content, right? Mm-hmm. When you think of Pedialyte, you're thinking about children, bro. So we got to break down and say what's children, because just for an example, in Nebraska, a child, you got to be 19 or you technically a child. In Texas, it's 18, right? So there's a discrepancy there. Anyway, a guy over 21 couldn't like the same woman that he did in Nebraska that's in Texas. Right? Mm-hmm. It's just so first off, there's so many nuances with that. When I'm talking about Pedialyte, when I'm thinking of children, I'm thinking young children, bro, because we gotta also as society be honest about how hypersexual active everything is. When you talking about 17, you talking about 18, you talking about 19. We went to school with them girls. Them girls was built like grown women. So when I'm talking about Pedialyte, I'm not saying it's right for a 35-year-old to have a 17-year-old. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying I can understand how they can find that attractive because some of them be adults by body already, not by mind. But when you talk about Pedialyte, you ain't adult by body or by mind. There's a distinct difference, and maybe that's for me, just my opinion. But I think we got to look at that a little bit different.
I hear what you said, and I'm glad you
You know what I
clarified that because I was about to say, bro, you ain't texting no 16, 17-year-old woman.
No, for sure. No, for sure.
I was about
for
to,
sure.
yeah. I
sure.
just wanted to clarify that. And if your 16, 17-year-old daughter was texting somebody that was 35, you'd be hot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
But I also would be aware
Mm-hmm.
if my 16, 17-year-old daughter had a big butt, big breasts, and wore tight clothes and was built like she was 22.
Yeah,
right. When I think of Pedialyte, I'm thinking of you ain't even hit puberty yet.
Yeah. But some of the Pedialyte, the people that they're saying, bro, these young ladies ain't built like nothing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I understand your sentiment, but they not, bro. It's just a fact. So I can't defend the action of a person. I don't know what their intention are, but what it looks like, it just looks crazy. That's all I'm saying.
Only and for the record again, for the people listening, I'm talking about Drake specifically. I ain't talking about the average guy. I'm talking about a guy who we seen the women he's dealt with, period. If you saw the woman, I don't care if she was 19 or 35, he got a type. They gonna look good, right? We know this about Drake, period. All the women that he has been attractive. Maybe not to every guy, but to majority of guys, them women are built a certain type of way. Yeah. So I don't see a correlation where to a guy where you like, man, dude, like women that are sticks and bones. She look like a child. Yeah. You know she 42, but she look like a child. So I just think I don't see it with him, but again, we don't know these people, so whatever. But I just don't see it.
That touches on the deeper concept, though, as a whole in our society. No matter what age really a female is, we view her as a victim of a man in some capacity. So even if she was 35, you'd be like, oh, Drake manipulated her. You know what I'm saying? She was a victim. So, I mean, like, if she 21 or whatever it is, it's just kind of tough to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking even just from all my coaching experience, like if she 20 and you 35, like, nah, as soon as you hold the conversation, you know this is a kid you talking to. She might feel like she grown, but at our age that we are now, we know exactly how little they really know about life. Man, they brand new out the box, jumping out here thinking they got things figured out and they talking grown. They think they saying smart grown people things. And to us at this age, like we like, man, you dumb. And Drake's life experience, if we being real from his career and all those things, probably make him older than us just off of life and business experience. So when he talking to a chick that's 21, man, I don't know. He probably can manipulate a little bit better than most. So man, it's tough to say.
All I will say is this, bro. Hollywood got a very, very sick environment, and we see this type of stuff all the time. So I can't put it past nobody. I mean, I'm not going to throw no celebrities under the bus because I don't want to be, but it's a lot of celebrities. One of them, probably one of the best actors in Hollywood, and we see him with a lot of younger women. It's a running joke that once you this age, he ain't dealing with you. Once you over the age of 21, he ain't dealing with you no more. 24, I believe the age is. What's that?
You know, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Hey, I'm bleeping that out. I don't want. Hey, they suing content creators out here. Let us make the money first. Let us make the money first. But no, it's a but that's the rumor, bro. So that's what I said. Like it's this type of stuff. I think that culmination of things is the reason why this is such a big deal. I can see if it was just a vacuum, and like I said, to Lamar's point earlier, and that may even make me uncomfortable with you discussing that, but like with the women that he was accused of really wasn't his normal type. And like I said, we all know guys go with what they can get for sometimes, and sometimes they have a type that they like to have fun with. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I don't like it. I'm leaving this conversation because it's starting to disgust me. It's starting to gross me out.
Yeah, let's get up out of here.
Yeah, let me get up out of here. But
that's enough of that.
Yeah, that's enough of that. But yeah, let me go ahead and get up out of here on that one. But yeah, man, I'm not liking this man's action. It screams BAN. I hope. I don't want his career to be over because I do like the slaps, but the way it's looking like it might be a wrap for him. And then what Stowe was saying, bro. Die and be a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. I think he's in his villain arc right now, and I don't know if there's any recovering from it for the foreseeable future. It might be a few years down the line, but for the foreseeable future, I think it's a wrap. And that's my final thoughts on that Batman. Let's see here a second. I'm trying to pull up my list. My bad, y'all. My phone closed off. Oh yeah. The next topic. Michael Irvin's son versus Liangelo Ball. So the reason I wrote that down like that, because do y'all remember a few years ago when Michael Irvin's son was trying to become a rapper, and everybody was like, bro, you basically a hustable. You grew up in $1 million home and you trying to be a rapper. Why ain't Liangelo Ball getting that same treatment? Why he ain't getting the same treatment as Michael Irvin's son?
For the same reason everything else I was kind of saying. We're just in a different temperature of the world right now, bro. We don't dictate what's fly, unfortunately. We just don't. Our mindset, we're watching, and the thing that I think is important when you think about business, you think about content, just life, we have to adjust, still stay, on your core principles and values, but we got to adjust, bro. We dinosaurs. The way we think, they don't think like that no more, bro. They just don't. It's changing right in front of our eyes.
I'm not saying us, me in particular, because I don't care.
I'm saying us as a society.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, because me in particular, I don't like it. If you got a dream and you want to be a rapper and you're good, you know how I am about it. Go ahead and pursue that. Michael Irvin's son probably got a lot of. He got the cars, the jewelry, all this stuff to rap about. I don't know what the content in his music was. I just remember people were giving him a hard time about it. And now we see Liangelo Ball. Like I feel like the Liangelo Ball record is just a fun song. I don't feel like he's talking about no gangster stuff in there. None of that. Like it just feels like a fun hip hop song. Hey,
that's the difference.
Well, go ahead, Lamar Burner, if you want to break down the lyrics. What I'm saying, go ahead. Go ahead, break down the lyrics.
The lyrics are talking about him tweaking out and sliding. It's absolutely talking about the same stuff everybody else talking about. But it's just fun.
Right.
It is fun.
But listen, the
vibe is like it's really like he's saying that, but the vibe is not about that. Michael Irvin's son was like, no, I'm finna be on the block. I'm finna like really let them know like I'm in these streets and I'm finna take over the streets. Where he more like this party music. This got that Nelly, when Nelly first was cracking type feel to it. Not like, I'm really going to get my street cred up. And Michael Irvin's son was coming from a perspective like, I need that street credibility that I'm really out here and I will do this. Nobody, you running up to fight Liangelo Ball is just, it's weird. Fight Michael Irvin's son off of his record, it kind of fits the energy of the song.
Yeah, and now check this out, and this and to Burner point when he said it is some gangster stuff in the song, we got to remember Cha Cha Slide was Tootsie Slide. I'm sorry, not Cha Cha. Tootsie Slide was a gangster song as well. Drake was talking about sliding on people in that song, but it was a fun song. It didn't carry that energy of I'm about to go do this. You know what I'm saying? It was like that's the same vein I feel about Liangelo Ball's song. Like, and then most people don't even know the lyrics to the song. Only thing people know is I might swerve him in a corner. Whoa, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. Like I said, I think it's just a fun song. So that's my point. I just want to clarify that about us being dinosaurs. I'm not the one judging. I just was trying to figure out.
But no, I agree with both of y'all. But that's what I'm saying. So our demographic, if you're talking about 35 and up, right? Mm-hmm. We love lyrics. We actually listen to music. Mm-hmm. If you listen to his music, he's saying the exact same thing everybody else is saying, but it is in a fun, light way. It's produced at a high level. It ain't as dark. You ain't got all them drums. You ain't got all that stuff. But he's saying the exact same thing. But that's why I say it's different because the kids now, it's all about the vibe. My son 14. He was like, oh, I didn't know that was on Apple Music. Yeah, they not listening to the words. It's just the vibe. Reminiscent of how we were when we was singing Kaya, My Neck, My Back, or when our peers was singing that when we was 14. You ain't really, you don't really know what's going on. Most people was virgins and was singing that song, My Neck, My Back. So absolutely it's a fun song, but the world is changing, bro. But when Michael Vick son was trying to get it done, a lot of the peers were a little bit younger.
Michael Irvin, sorry.
Sorry, what did I call him?
Michael Vick. I just want to clarify that. My bad.
No, I appreciate it. But I just think the times is changing, man, where, we kind of in need of some of that just fun, that feel good hip hop.
And see, this is a difference too, because with drill music and with a lot of the Southern music, these artists are telling you what they gonna do and who they gonna do it to. It's a lot of I'm reading lyrics right now. It's a lot of G code in this. He ain't talking that direct. We like lately. It's been a lot of direct. 21 Savage is very direct in his music. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of G code in this, and I think that's why this song sounds so much more fun. And you gotta be in the know. If my son was singing this song, he wouldn't know what he was talking about. You know what I mean? But if he was singing 21 Savage or something like that, I know people would know exactly what he was talking about. Same thing with Tootsie Slide. Not a lot of people realize what Drake was talking about in that song. I'm like, this dude got us to dance to that song because he said I can dance like Michael Jackson when he actually talking about sliding on somebody, which is brilliant to me. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's just like I said, some of these songs don't carry the same energy, which I don't think this one do. And I like the way that he's saying these things in this song. This is something I could play in front of my kids.
And that's the point you touched on, is that it is about the energy of the song, right? And that comes through in the music, like your intention and everything behind the art. Like, you want to make people feel something, whether you painting a picture, making a sculpture, or making music. Like, you want to make them feel something. And you can tell from that song, the feeling was, man, this a party vibe. We riding down the street, kind of kicking it. It's a summer song. It's got that whole energy, like, you gonna kick it and hear this at the party. Whereas this some gangster rap where this ain't exactly gonna be in a party if you want to get the girls dancing. You might like it, but it ain't that vibe. And I think that's where Michael Irvin's son probably leaned music more towards, oh yeah, a couple of the homies listen to this, but some girls come around, I might switch on something a little bit more up tempo, we can all vibe, everybody dance to.
Right. Like, oh no, y'all want to hurt some of this music, but oh no, you really want to hurt some people. You ain't well when you was in the studio.
And I think this could be a teaching moment for a lot of artists as well. Like, because I've heard, like Patrick Beverly said, "Oh, that song is trash. I don't want to hear that." Pat Bev, relax, bro. Like this don't sound no different than the big timers when we was younger, and that stuff was slapping. And I already talked about on the show about how things are cyclical. You know what I mean? Like and if y'all don't understand what I mean by that, it's like when Pac and Big was out, they was doing a lot of rapping at a very high clip, a lot of metaphors, a lot of punchlines, all this type of stuff. Then you get the more evolution. You get Jay-Z's, you get the Nas's, you know what I mean? Then you get more evolution. Then you get Eminem. Eminem does the most rapping that a rapper can do. It does many syllables, punchlines, rhyming, all that. Fast, slow, however you want it. That's pretty much the pinnacle. You can't rap more than that. You know what I mean? You cannot rap more than that. So then the natural progression of things is you start slowing it down into the T.I.s and the Jeezy. They rapping slow over trap drums and trap beats. You know what I mean? Then you enter the more melodic era that we was in. Now we got this sound back, and people are loving this. I guarantee you, there's gonna be a lot of copycats trying to capture the same vibe that Liangelo got. You know what I mean?
If you smart.
Yeah, if you smart. But I also think, like I said, hiding your intentions, making stuff fun behind those beats is different, bro. And it don't feel like this does not feel like what I like to call black on black genocide music. You know what I mean? It just sounds like and feel like a fun record.
The production is too good. This is really well produced. It's fire.
Yeah,
it really is fire.
It really is. Yeah. And it's super catchy. I love it. I hope you got some more in the tuck.
Shout out to the Ball family.
Right. I hope you got some more in the tuck. I did hear a snippet that Zoe was playing in the locker room, and that one sounded like it was in the same vein. So I'm looking forward to it.
I would bet that whole
don't
album gonna be
miss.
like that. Yeah, I would bet that whole album gonna be like that. I think if I'm giving flowers, bro, because at times the society hate to give flowers, LeVar, we seeing what real fathers happens when they manifest in their children. They know something, bro. And I'm just going to take my hat off to them. I don't think it's by coincidence that he found his way. He just was trying to find his way. And yeah, man, they lit, bro. They really is. And I think we going to have to deal with them.
Facts, big facts.
You got 3 sons not afraid to put themselves out there because he instilled that confidence in them. And they putting themselves out there in ways and just keep garnering success in different lanes. I love it.
Man, I think this is the 10x version of what we seen LeBron do. We just seeing a father with a vision for his family do it. Because we know how LeBron put all his people on. We seen LeVar Ball do the exact same thing. These kids got TV shows. They had their own sneakers and everything out from the jump. You know what I mean? And that was a rarity to see. The only person we seen do it was LeBron, and he he caught slack for it. I remember the early days of him talking about Rich Paul and his entourage and stuff representing him was crazy. But they dogged LeVar for it as well, talking about you think your sons can make it to the NBA. You remember all the negative talk about it. So I think that I love seeing this as a black man, as a black father myself. It's very aspirational. I don't know if I'm as outspoken as him, but if my son needed the protection, I would be just as outspoken as him. You know what I mean? But like I said, I think separation. I think it's definitely like extremely dope. And now we see it.
Absolutely.
Now we see the same thing happening with LeBron. Oh, something that I didn't have on the list, but did y'all see LeBron on the Kelce Brothers podcast? I think it's called High Something. I can't think of the name of the show. Forgive me, Kelce Brothers, but they have a phenomenal show. If y'all ain't subscribed, please go check out the Kelce. I hate to plug another show on this show, and this ain't an ad, but that podcast is good, man. I like that energy over there. Did y'all peep that at all?
Nope.
Oh man, it was so good, bro. Like LeBron, they asked LeBron the question that I never think he was gonna answer. He brought up the infamous game when he went played against Jordan when he was 16, and LeBron said he went in there and he said so the way the game went, he said I didn't get a chance to He said, I didn't get a chance to play because they would let the younger guys play after the older guys were tired. So he said by the time when he finally got on the court, he said that the Kelce brothers said, who could they stop him? He said, absolutely not. He said, he said, nobody in that gym could hold me. He said, I took full advantage of that moment. Like he said I was a 16-year-old kid, bro. He said, bro, it was and of course we already got Ron Artest co-opted this story already, so we know it's true. But to hear LeBron say that and all the play, oh, he couldn't play in this area, he couldn't do X, Y, and Z, and the 16-year-old kid went to this gym and dominated is something special. And we know with them open runs a lot different than playing in the NBA game, but we know what them open runs probably look like.
Yeah, I have to say this. First preference is by saying that Kobe's my GOAT. So let me just throw that out there. But LeBron's contribution to basketball as a whole is so underrated that I don't think we really appreciate that from all the aspects that he has really contributed to the game in a positive way. And you just mentioned it, touching on the fact that he got his friends or entourage put in great positions. But, man, they carried their own weight once they got in those positions and really have stepped up to the plate. And, man, you just seeing that it's like it's the pinnacle of like what we often talk about in the black community about that unity and us working together and getting in positions. Man, they had to come with a certain work ethic to support that vision, and they didn't disappoint. So I'm really, really inspired by that.
Yeah, me too. And he spoke on that as well. The Kelce brothers asked him about that, and he said the biggest compliment to me is that they can walk in a room without me. And you know how much of a rarity that is when you do business or you have somebody that's representing something that you're putting together. You know what I mean? I've had some of the similar issues, creating in the past where it's like I can't even get people on one accord. But like I said, like to have a team that you can trust, because I got that with y'all now. I don't have to look and be like, hey man, can you post this? Can you share this? Can you if y'all come across somebody y'all think it'd be dope for us to interview on here, I don't have to worry about y'all doing that. And from that and that's because y'all are phenomenal businessmen on top of being my brothers. Like, y'all know we all on the same accord on what we trying to accomplish. You know what I mean? So like him saying that about Rich Paul and Maverick Carter and all them, like, bro, that's the highest level of compliment you can play somebody, like not having to worry about what they do when you at that level, when you're not in the room. That's phenomenal. We've seen certain instances in the past where people get some level of success and they can't trust their old friends.
Yeah, he exemplified that idea, man. I really feel like everybody can win, and seeing that just instills that belief in me further. Like, everybody can win together, right? Everybody ain't gonna be LeBron, but man, you can be Rich Paul, you can be Maverick Carter, you can be the security guy he got for him, man. That's dope.
Yeah. I don't know if many of y'all seen this TV show Survivor Remorse, which is just kind of like a hodgepodge of LeBron's story, D-Wade's story, and all the people that was around him coming up through the NBA at that time. But that's a real good series that kind of highlights some of the same stuff that we're talking about, if you just kind of want a deeper insight into it. But yeah, go check out that interview with the Kelce brothers at LeBron. Real dope vibe, man. I gotta shout them brothers out. I'm sorry I went off the topic list with that one, but it was a really good show, man. So yeah, shout out to them. But something else I wanted to talk to y'all, man, is I saw Aaron McCruder, right? I don't even want to touch on that yet. I'll go back because I went past the topic, but we see this trend, right, in the black community where men get money and the first thing they say is they want to buy they mama a house, right? This topic came from another show as well, but we say where they want to buy their parents a house. Why do y'all think that is? Why do y'all think that we go straight to we got to save our parents in our community? Why do y'all think that is?
Because of need. I think a lot of times the parents need to be saved. I think it's the natural thing to do. I think when you come from, I guarantee you, a person who come from an affluent house not doing that. I think it speaks only to the people that come from a situation where it's dire, where it's necessary. Otherwise, you didn't hear Jason, and I'm gonna use these names because we've used them in the pod and they just come to my mind. But like a Jason Tatum, when he was at Duke, and the stories they share from Coach K, et cetera, him going to the NBA wasn't about him buying his mama a house. They already had money. She actually handled his money and was like, hey, you spend your endorsements, you saved his salary. Yeah, he ain't worried about buying her no house. So I think we go to that because it's a need and it's necessary.
You don't think that's some form of... Go ahead, Tay, my bad.
I think it is a need, but I think it just is more of a need because we're not acknowledging that there's an epidemic of the mother and the father being able to work together in a constructive way. Like, our community has lost sight of roles, right? We either think everybody's equal and everybody can do everything. So guess what? Some of these dudes who making it become son husbands. Now they got to go out here and they the man of the house, but you've been a man of the house since you was 8 because mama couldn't work successfully with a man, right? And maybe we can say, oh, this dude was a bad dude. That dude was a bad dude. Hey, stop picking them then. And I think that's where we got to take some accountability from the parental side and say, man, like, hey, mom and dad should have figured out how to work together more successfully so that son make it. Yeah, he might want to do something nice for you, but it's not needed to save me from my plight. And we not really acknowledging that. We think that's some sort of badge of honor to say, yeah, my mama was struggling my whole life. Now I made my NBA contract. You trying to tell me she been grown, strong, independent all them years? She couldn't figure out nothing. This the information era. So some of it's a little bit unacceptable, and we need to start holding people's feet to the fire on what's needed.
Yep, I would agree. But yeah, people don't be doing well, man. And like man, you hit it on the head. A lot of cultures, man, they don't take care of their parents. Their parents already good. I know people that in different cultures, they 38 and the parents are still coming to town and buy them groceries. My mother-in-law still contributes. She'll come and let me do something and we'll contribute, And so, yeah, it's just different. And I think, when you get that much money, I think you try and do the obvious.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard other artists and famous people talk about how they tried to buy their grandmother a house or try to do X, Y, and Z, and their grandmother said, "No." I'm trying to get my grandma out the hood. No, that's all she knows. She loved that. People, she walk up and down the block. People love her in that neighborhood. You know what I mean? So why do we feel like it's such a? I think it's a little bit of survivor's remorse that we feel that way. It's like, man, like I'm going off to live in the hills or going off to live in the suburb, and I want the same thing for my parents, and they might not have that same optic. And I think it's pretty much of a lie that been told in hip hop. You know what I mean? Like I got my mama out the hood, put her in the woods, type of stuff. Your mama don't want to be in that woods around them people that don't speak to her.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe she want to stay on her own. And I cannot remember. It's this she one of the wealthiest women, or she's up there. She's a $1 millionaire. But a few years ago, I remember her talking about her story, and she was saying how she went from a waitressing at a restaurant to owning her own business, and she got all her tips. She started her business from all the tips that she raised when she told the people she wanted to quit, and all the people that she had been waitressing for like the last 10 years or so, they was giving her thousands of dollars, and she paid all them people back. But in that story, she was saying that the greatest gift that her parents gave her, and some of y'all probably know who this is by the story. I just can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she was saying one of the greatest gifts that her parents gave her was poverty. She didn't mention at all going back and helping her parents do anything like that. She was just saying that, hey, poverty taught me how to hustle. You know what I mean? And it gave me a different perspective on life that I wouldn't have got whether I had a silver spoon. And I think a lot of us, we don't look at stuff like poverty as the blessed it is, so to speak, or coming from nothing and working your way up to something as the blessing that is, and even having the ability to do that. We just look at it like, man, I could like almost like we a victim to it. When sometimes like I said, I had more of a community when I was in the hood than I do now, and I live in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? That's just a unique perspective, and I want to throw that in there and just kind of figure out why we do that as a society. I think a lot of it can be attributed to hip hop and or feeling bad about surviving or coming from a background where people have less than or seem to have less than. You know what I mean? Because the people I know that are still in the environment that I'm from or still back in the community that I'm from, they seem happy. They don't complain.
I'll tell you this. I don't have survivor's remorse. The things that I have, the people who have less or what perceived to be less have the same things that I have. They happy. They equally laughing. They on social media as well. God bless you. Yeah. Hey, I hope you've made it to where you want to make it. I ain't got it. I can't help. I can't sponsor. It's not mutually beneficial. But I'll see you at the top or see you from the top. I'll tell you that.
I hate you, dog. You're a fool.
Yeah, I think another caveat to that is we think we keeping it real too, right? There's always that stigma to be like, oh, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget where you came from. Well, hey.
I forget sometimes, outside of my family, man. This is the honest to goodness truth. I can appreciate the steps that people took to enable me the opportunities to go outside of what we know to be normalcy. That's it, right? Other than that, all that other stuff, yeah, you know it and you appreciate it, but I'm not going to glorify it, right? I'm going to take it to the next level, and I think that's the responsibility for anybody that put you in a position to have a certain type of standard is for you to raise the standard. And then your kids going to raise the standard because how you look at things now, your kids, what's important to you, they be like, oh, that's normal. You may be like, man, we went on vacation. They going to be like, hey, I got a life where I travel, or We always on vacation, so it ain't special. So I think it's just raising the level that transitions and transcends to something bigger, and we pass that on and you build on it, like from a real family legacy standpoint. But hey, if you ain't there at this point, we know in society, in the world, man, the easiest thing to do is to take accountability, get to where you want to be proud of where you at, and go from there. Otherwise, it's gonna pass you by.
Yeah. Quick question: do y'all think black people used up all their moral currency in this country?
What does
Yes.
that mean?
Aaron
Break
Recruiter,
that down for the people. What that mean?
Aaron Recruiter, creator of the Boondocks, said that black people have used up all our moral currency in this country. At one point, through the civil rights movement, is more so what he was speaking to was we were almost looked at as like martyrs. Like we had our plight was so strong, and we were being oppressed so bad that it made white people feel empathy and sympathy for us. And he was alluding to the fact that we acted such a fool in media, on the news, just different things, the black on black violence, and we don't carry ourselves with so much dignity and decorum anymore, that we've used up all our moral currency. And that's, he said this probably 99, 2000, 2001. That was the time frame he said that. And now fast forward to now, that where he was saying basically, we used up all our moral currency, and white people just don't care. They see that, they can see us getting abused and all this type of stuff, and they just don't care. And I think that's how we get to the point where we at now as a nation, where we so divided, and people just look at us and just be like, they always up to something. The rest of the world looks at us adversely, all that. So I think I think he has some credence to that. But I want to get y'all thoughts on that statement. Have we used up all our moral currency?
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think it's not just by our own doing either. I think it's also by like the marketing, the like news campaigns, the way they show us. I think we also have a heavy factor in that, right? We support a lot of the nonsense that was put out by us. Coming up, it used to be kind of like groups of people. Now it's like everybody who from the hood act like they sell crack. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, now that ain't real.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't like that. Used to be the church kids, the kids who played sports, the kids who did music, a couple of dudes who skateboarded, maybe a couple of guys who did martial arts or ROTC. Now you kind of in a space where you seeing like everybody damn near practicing the same lifestyle or something. But you see that we perpetuating that stereotype among ourselves, as well as that's being put out in the media. It almost seemed like it's like the have and have nots among black people. Like it's almost like no middle ground sometimes. And that's just a little crazy.
Yeah. I wish we can get back to the point. The last time I seen this country actually care about black people, and I hate to say it, was when George Floyd was murdered. That was the last time I seen this country have a moral compass. I'm not all about this division in politics and everything, but I've seen devout MAGA people. I live in Texas. I've seen hardcore Republicans say they kept talking to me. I'm like, damn, I don't really give a fuck. I mean, I did care about George Floyd, but I don't care about your political identity. And they kept saying, man, we got to get him out of there. We got to get him out. That was a general consensus of people. They would say, oh yeah, I voted for Trump before in the past. I voted Republican my whole entire life. We got to get him out of there. We got to get him out of there. That was what people kept saying to me. And now people act like that never even happened. Like George Floyd never happened, and the country wasn't in the state that was in back in 2020, 2019, that time frame. You know what I mean? So I think our currency is pretty much null and void and pretty much used up. Unless we get another martyr, God forbid. I hate to see anything happen to anybody, but like I think it's pretty much done, and I don't know how we move forward with that besides just relying on each other. I think the days of trying to get people to see our plight and plights, so you know what I'm saying, and all that is out the window. I think it's over.
I think we need more small leaders instead of like one large leader. Like we don't need any more like Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X's, right? We need more like local people who are doing things but working together, right? When we get those leaders kind of propped up in front of us, that's an easy thing to tear down and discourage the group as a whole. Mm-hmm. But like, who really is the great white leader steering them down the path of success? I mean, we could kind of say Trump is right now, but like, not really. Like, they don't have that one person where if you assassinated them, all white people are discouraged. Yeah. And I think that's what black people kind of need to get away from, is having that one leader who is assassinated, and that can discourage us all from our progress. Yeah. We need to just kind of take accountability as a whole and find a space to where we can acknowledge that we all work together, instead of it being like, oh, you Pan-African, you Hotep, you FBA, you all of these things. We need to just identify with a certain dignity among ourselves as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I think the reason that will never happen is because, number one, that white people always stay on code. I've never heard a white person. I work with conservatives all day long. I've never heard them say a bad. I can say bad things about conservatives. I've never heard them say a bad thing about conservatives ever. You know what I mean? I've never hear them say, "Oh, this senator or this." They always rocking with him, and I'm like, fam, I know you don't believe everything that this person is saying. You know what I'm saying? Or that they are doing, and you married and you have children and stuff like that. I know you don't believe this stuff, but y'all they stay on code, and that's the part of their culture. And I feel like for the most part we don't stay on code. Like I said, we got different subsets groups inside of the black community. Like you just brought it up, the FBAs, the what are they called, man? The Hotel, but it's another group too out there that's not Foundational Black Americans. ADOS. ADOS is the other group I was thinking of. You know what I mean? If y'all not familiar, that's Africans, descendants of slaves. So they believe that that the people that's entitled to reparation, the black people that's entitled to reparations in this country is tied directly to the descendants of slaves, not the people who came in here afterwards. Unless you came through the Jim Crow era, unless you what is it called when people come into our country? What is it called, bro? You know,
immigrants.
Unless you an immigrant that came in this country during the civil rights and had to live through Jim Crow, then you're not entitled to reparations. That's kind of what that group believes in. But all that stuff creates separation. To your point, you know what I mean? Because we don't have a code, we don't have a culture. That's done by design a little bit, but I think if a lot of us think tank a little bit more and get on the same pages with a lot of things, and we don't have to agree with everything, but as long as we come to we all got one goal, or the majority of us have one goal, and we start culture building and men being leaders, it would change a lot of stuff in this country for us as a group.
It's tough to be black among black people because there's too many rules. It's like, man, you can't date this person, and you can't be a part of this organization, and you can't say this. Oh, this person talk white, and this person wear this. It's just too many rules, instead of just acknowledging like, yo, we got something in common in our skin color and in our plight in America. And I think that's gonna always keep us separate.
Yeah, I definitely hate that rule system. I'm one of the people that I don't like the whole we can't date. We can't interracial dating. I hate that with all my heart and soul. I've done a lot of deep digging and researching and figuring out where this is coming from, about us demonizing other black people that date outside their race and that type of stuff. And once you do a little research, you realize that it never came from our people. That actually comes from the people who are trying to keep us oppressed and separated. Number one. Number two, I got family members who got one white parent and one black parent, and they look white as snow. So I'm not like we all mudded out in America for the most part anyway. You know what I'm saying? We all mixed with something down through the lines. Like, so why are we drawing this fine line about like, oh, you can't deal with this people? I understand it's a lot of hurt and a lot of pain when it comes to race relations in this country and how we deal with each other. But I don't think dating outside your race is that big of a deal. There is times where I've seen, but these are very situational, and these are kind of anecdotal evidence. But there's been cases where I can tell that somebody was racist. They don't like black women, and they don't really like your black friends, but they just like what you doing in the bedroom with them. So Hold on a second, y'all. I lost my camera.
There's our sponsor, El Gato. Yeah, but what you said, Ron, man, I think that's it's just pander. I think a lot of that was really kind of a pander to women.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Lamar was talking about this the other day. It seemed like every time I see a dude that's saying, man, I only date my black queens. That's all. I only love black queens.
They be full of
they
shit.
Single. And they clap. They clap plenty black queens out here. Couple baby mamas and the whole nine. You like, yeah, I bet you only love your black queens. You getting it in with all of them.
That's how you get in
there. Lock one down. And they like, yeah, he get it. He understand. Yeah, ain't none of y'all good enough to be locked in with him long term though.
If I had anything to contribute to this conversation, it's you could do a podcast on perspective alone of a conversation of this magnitude. If there was anything I would offer is we fear the past too much and we don't respect the future enough. That's why I made my comment about the dinosaurs earlier. And it's funny that it's just a recurrent sentiment and theme just for life. We fear the past too much, right? It's a difference between being educated and all of that stuff. Cool. I'm no debate there. But it's so much more valuable knowing where you want to go. If I didn't know anything about my lineage, anything about my history, I didn't know anything about the males in my family, I didn't know if they was financial literate, I didn't know that they were scholars, but if I said today, hey, I'm going to go to college and be a doctor, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and I set my mind to that, I can do that. I can't go back and change the past, right? So for me, we get so hyper fixated on the past as a society and as a whole. And for me, none of us we really weren't raised like that. And it's so weird that is kind of become the norm in social media. I grew up playing sports like most dudes, right? Next play. You can miss a wide open three that you've made 100 times. You better shoot the next one. So I don't know why we so fixated on stuff that we can't change. Hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to get there. With that, I respect and understand that I may have to pivot. I may have to turn around. I may have to take a step back. It may hurt. I'm going to fail forward, etc. Right? It's not necessarily going to be easy, but I'm going to do this and I'm going this way. Mm-hmm. I think that's the most value lacking in the leadership. I think that's lacking in how we educate the young brothers and females. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's really missing.
Yeah.
And I think if you're talking about as a whole, it has to be micro. It has to be the people who are in your circle of influence. You know, what are you telling your kids? How are you teaching your kids? Mm-hmm. I told my son the other day, because he actually got in trouble at a little program. You know, his teacher, he does really well, and his teacher reached out. And I said, hey, I know you was kicking it with your homies, but you got to know when to shut up. I don't care about your homie not getting consequences. You have them. So if you going to kick it with them dudes and y'all going to kick it, you need to police your friends. It's that simple. Hey, I'm not going to get in trouble because I know my dad going to come down on me hard. If they don't respect that, them ain't your homies. But I think it's those little things right in our pockets, in our community, in our society that makes a big change. But as an employer, you can't save everybody. Mm-hmm. You can sit down and give these fools a vision. I can say, hey, Harriet Tubman, you know, blah, 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 blah. Rosa Parks, blah, 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 etc. We can be educated on that. We know how we were oppressed. And I can literally give you a roadmap to set the future for you, and people won't follow it. So it can't be that.
Yeah,
we got to say, hey, we know where we're going, and this is how we're gonna get there.
Yeah, I think the problem with our and this is a great conversation to have leading up to Black History Month, because this month is almost over, and then we're going into Black History Month. But I think the importance of history and knowing your history is it informs your present. I think we get so fixated on the history aspect of it and what was done to us in the past that we think that that's our present, when it's really not. It's informing our present. You know what I mean? So for us to learn a lesson of the past and move and strategically forward, yeah, we got it plays a important part. But like Tamar said, don't get so fixated on it. Focus on where we're going in the future, and that will help us a lot. The present and moving forward will help us a lot. And but also, like I said, I think that comes with culture building. Us, like you said, each one teach one, all of us being culture, but we got to be on code. We got to have some kind of foundation there. And I've seen other groups and organizations try to try to replicate it where we can teach people and kind of build a culture, but it's far and few between. But that's why I like to shout out other platforms where I think people are doing good work. That's why I like to shout out the EYLs and stuff like that. But just the culture building and the people that are good role models, good enough to follow outside of Jesus and the Bible or whatever you call them, Yahweh, whatever religions you believe in. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the ultimate person you should be following and the ultimate example. But what I will say is there are other examples where we can look toward as well and kind of and build off of that. Excuse me.
My brother, CEO Tay dropped a bar, and I'm gonna let him share it. We had a staff meeting today, and he dropped a bar. Share that bar you dropped, bro. About, was it Madam C.J. Walker?
Oh yeah, okay. And it's something that I tell my daughters all the time, man. We get so fixated on racism, and Madam C.J. Walker created a business and became a millionaire in a time where you could hang a black person from a street light. And understanding that, it really puts it in perspective that now we live in this time where you can hop on the internet, hop on YouTube, figure out how to start a business without nobody ever seeing your face and make money. So if you can't make it now, it's a choice. It's because you didn't want to. And that's where we got to really take our level of accountability. You know, we can use history to figure out what has happened to us and the mistakes that was made. But oftentimes in our community, we use history in order to apply a certain sense of guilt to the people that we feel are oppressing us. And it's like, all right, if they would feel bad, they wouldn't have done that in the first place. So the next thing is learn the game, learn the tactics that was used against you, build your self-esteem up, build your kids up, build your family up, and you go out here and you start something and find your own path. But you're not going to convince them to feel bad about it by harping on it day in and day out.
That's a bar, and those are facts, and that goes to the point of what I said about using up our moral currency. Real talk. So, yeah.
So it's over with for that. We ain't convincing them to feel sorry for us, man. Let's go out here and figure out how to win.
That part. And stop quote unquote being victims. Of course, there's a lot of things that was done to us, but yeah, we don't got to be victims behind it. Go ahead, bro.
And that mindset, when you think about it, that's what got MLK coming up on his birthday killed. Yeah, all of that acceptance is great. Let's integrate and all of that. Oh, hold on. There's some tangible things that should make sense, like economics. That's what got him killed, because he was thinking about the future. The past, I was all the kumbaya. Yeah. He's in the midst of it too, though. You know, to be sensitive to the situation, obviously. But nah, he got to start talking about the future. Mm-hmm. Got him killed.
That part. Man, listen, we are an hour and 12 minutes in. We had a whole other 9 topics on the list that we didn't even get to, but we can save them for a later date. Man, listen, I don't know if y'all got anything else to add, any church announcements, but man, I appreciate y'all, and of course, I always look forward to building with my brothers. I learn something each day being around y'all, so definitely appreciate y'all in that aspect. I don't know how many of y'all got real friends out there, but these are good people to know. So I definitely appreciate the building I get to do with y'all. On that note, man, y'all got anything else to add?
Yeah, I want to add I'm gonna do a word of the pod every pod. Today, my word is intentionality. In line with what we're talking about, you're talking about Black history going forward. Hey, don't share the meme that nobody cares, work harder. Apply it to your life. Nobody cares. Everybody has their own plight, their own struggle. And what may seem like an advantage to you may seem like a hindrance to them. Perspective matters, right? So let it go. Focus on what you want to get. No excuses. Let it go. Be intentional. Don't quit. Work until you get what you want.
Hey, and on that note, man, this has been another episode. Tay, you don't got anything else to follow up with that? It's kind of hard to follow.
No, that's bars. It's hard to follow that. That's my point right there.
Yeah. But on that note, man, we're going to get up out of here, and we'll see y'all in a couple of days with another episode of Unlabeled the Podcast. Peace.